Dude, I think the bearings are toast.
I think that's more than toast.
Hey guys, my name is Liam.
My name is Joe.
And we are the Back Yard Overland Tour.
The Back Yard Overland Tour was our idea to have an adventure close to home. Home for us is Michigan. We'd like to go to the Upper Peninsula along the coast of Lake Superior, check out the sights, and end at the Detroit 4 Fest.
Are you not entertained?
Hey guys, I'm Liam. I'm one of the leaders of this Backyard Overland trip, and we are on day 0. So day 0 is just us getting to the first campsite, the first waypoint, if you will. And typically you're on the pavement the entire time and nothing goes wrong. Well, guess what? We have something go wrong right away. Joe is one of our other leaders, and he's driving this beautiful M715 or 715, if you will. And the wheel bearing just decided to stop doing its job. 30 minutes from our first waypoint.
Looks like a hub full of dry dirt as opposed to the grease that's supposed to be in there. It was starting to make a swishing noise coming down the road, and I could smell hot metal, so we pulled off. And it was a good choice. Very dead bearing.
So we're behind a Subway right now, and we are figuring out how to repair this truck, which I believe we have parts coming on the way through some friendships we've made on the road. And so within the next 30 minutes, we're gonna do some wrenching.
The bad race too, right?
I was trying to clean out all the
Framed in, I'm like, not particular.
Oh, that's a keeper.
Spicy.
No bueno.
What was your name again?
I'm Nate Schaefer.
So I want to introduce you really quick. Nate lives, 30 minutes away?
Yep.
And you know one of our guys somehow and have come out in the middle of the night. It's not particularly warm, and we're in a parking lot, and he came with tools and parts and know-how to fix this M715. And we may not have done it quite yet tonight, but you're going to help us again tomorrow.
This one's about 120 thou thicker.
But this is not the first time you've done this. So
Oh, no.
What do you do? What's your business? What's going on here?
Well, I own and operate Biggs Off-Road and Repair. I do a lot of specialty off-road recoveries, off-road repairs, and also general vehicle repairs. I have got a couple different rigs that I try to keep up to date and do off-road recoveries and try to do a lot of wheeling myself.
For anyone watching, and they're probably wondering where we are, what's your region that you service?
My immediate region, I live in Houghton, Hancock area, and I service all the way up from the tip of the Keweenaw all the way down past Ontonagon, and I do quite a bit in Marquette and a little bit beyond on occasion.
All right. And you come out to them typically?
Yep.
Awesome. If I get broke down on the trail later tomorrow, who do I call? Like, what's a good number or
Yeah.
website?
You can call me at 906-281-4592. That's the number, the business emergency number I keep on me at all times. And if you're stuck or broke down, I'll do my best to get you out.
All right. Well, heaven forbid, hopefully we won't be calling you tomorrow with more stuff on my old Jeep that we're driving up. But you know what? You'd be the first number we call.
Perfect.
So thank you so much.
Yeah.
You're a huge help.
Not a problem.
Nate, will you be mine?
Will you go steady?
Take this ring. But really, saving my bacon, Nate. I love you for this. Thank you very much. No problem. I cannot repay you. It looks like you even already packed these.
Yes.
Awesome.
After a day of excitement, our hardy adventurers placed their orders at Subway and tucked in for the night. Joe and Joe stayed in the parking lot with their Jeeps in the rooftop tents while the rest of the group went back to the original planned campsite, getting ready for the big day tomorrow.
Serene American bacon cooking in the wilderness.
Hey, I'm Henry Payne. I'm auto columnist for the Detroit News. I write about all things auto product for the news, and I'm up here in Twin Lakes, a recreation park up in the Keweenaw Peninsula of Michigan, one of the most beautiful parts of this state. We're right on Lake Superior, and we're part of the Back Yard Overland Tour. We're on our way down south to Detroit 4Fest later this week, and I am driving around this all-new 2023 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 4xe. This thing just has a little turbo 4 engine, but when you marry it to a 140 horsepower electric motor in the back, this thing makes 470 pound-feet of torque, which is better than a Jeep Wrangler 392. So when we go off-roading today up on the coast of Lake Superior, I'm going to press a button. I'm going to be totally on electric power. So I'm going to be totally quiet, listening to the birds, listening to the twigs snap under the tires. I thought I'm going to put my sleeping bag in the back of the car. I'm just going to sleep for the night. But there's a big hump back there where the battery goes. So actually the rear is not so good for sleeping. One of the compromises for having an electric vehicle.
First order of business is we have sweatshirts for everybody. And that's a big thank you to our title sponsor, Tyree Light. So thank you, Cole. We can thank those guys for a lot of what we have on this trip. So definitely make sure you guys get your sweatshirt. I should have the correct sizes for everybody. We had a pretty interesting day zero. As you know, there's an M715 in a parking lot missing a wheel, but nothing that we can't handle. We're the off-road community. We got people helping him out, and they're going to be joining us at the Quincy mine today in the Gladiator, and they'll be going back for the M715.
Did they have luck this morning?
They did not, so they're overnighting some parts in, and they'll tackle it again tomorrow. We're going to go and do a mine tour. It's going to be a really laid-back day, and then we'll go and see some pretty good sights on the peninsula. If we'll bow our heads, I'll pray really quick. Dear Lord, thank you so much for this opportunity and the ability for us to get out here and experience nature. I thank you that everyone is safe, despite the fact we've already had some kind of issue. And I thank you that there's plenty of people in the community that we call home to help us out along the way. Lord, I pray as we go throughout the trip that we have a lot of fun, we find new and creative ways to glorify you, and that we minimize our breakdowns at all possible. Thank you very much, and can't wait to see what happens next. Amen. We're running a little short on time with nothing we can't handle, so we're gonna get some gasoline and hit the road.
Morning in the Keweenaw Peninsula. The commando's running great. Going to take a quick moment to remind you guys we are sponsored by Tyree Lights, our title sponsor. We've got unofficial use only Dynomax Mufflers, Maximus 3, Trails Off-Road, and Rancho Suspension. We are also sponsored by Tread Lightly, which means we're not going to leave anything behind. Dear Lord, we forgot the camera guy.
I know the old Jeep guys like their raw Wranglers, but I'm sitting here on adaptive cruise control. Got a camera guy in the right seat that I'm talking to. I got luggage in the back, drinks in the pockets. I can rest easy because I'm on adaptive cruise control. So I got the car set. We're in our Jeep train here. Got 3 Jeeps in a row.
6 minutes. We're going to be rolling up on the Quincy mine. It's very large and hard to miss. There's very little that I know about it, and that's why we're doing a tour, so we can all get much more educated.
All right, we just arrived at the Quincy mine. We're a little bit behind schedule, so the tour is moving on ahead of us. We're going to jump in with them, get our hard hats on, and see what they have to offer.
The Quincy mine started mining copper in 1856. Between 1862 and 68, the Quincy mine was the nation's largest copper producer. They ceased all mining in 1957. Our crew is entering the mine on level 7, which can be accessed by taking a tram down the hill and entering from the side. miners would have entered the mine by riding a steam-powered lift that propelled them to a depth of 6,800 feet into the ground. Below level 7, the additional levels of the mine are now full of water and are no longer accessible to the public or anyone else. In the early days, the miners worked by candlelight, pounding a hole into the rock wall with a hammer and a chisel. The hole was filled with dynamite used to break up the rock, which was then sent away for copper extraction. Later years introduced pneumatic drills, which were lovingly referred to as the Widowmaker, because they dramatically worsened the working conditions and cost many men their lives. For more information, you'll have to take the tour yourself. There is so much more about this mine that makes it an absolute marvel of history and engineering.
It's been a long, hard day in the mine. We made it about 3 feet and Gage lost a leg. But all in all, it's been a pretty successful day. I think we're going to make about $5 off this one. And we're heading back up the hill so we can go attend to Gage's wounds and see some more scenery. Mike, what happened?
I'm just swinging my foot out, open the door. First time I've ridden in one of these vehicles. Of course, I've seen this problem before, but in the past vehicles it never hooked me like this. I always wear these boots out here. Anyway, hope I didn't damage it. This is one of the Jeep's loaner vehicles.
Facing a busy schedule, Henry had to leave the group early, but he still wanted to get dirt on the tires of his brand new 4xe. So Joe and Joe loaded up the Gladiator and guided Henry all the way to High Rock Bay, where he was able to take it off-road for the very first time on full electric power. They said their goodbyes, and Liam and Joe and Mike and Cole decided to take the longer route, the more scenic way, all the way to High Rock Bay.
We're going to High Rock Bay! Let's go! Our first fuel up. It's actually the first time I can gauge what fuel economy I'm getting in the Commando, because I've been having all sorts of weird stuff with the gas tank. It appears we're doing 7.5 miles per gallon, which tells me I need to adjust my fuel mixture just a little bit. But we took care of that. We'll see how the rest of the trip goes, and we're gonna go see a waterfall. This is actually a really good sign. So this waterfall, when I was up here in the pre-run in the spring, was easily 3 times as more water than what we're looking at right now. And although that was much more glorious to look at, we had encountered a lot of water on the trails that made us kind of nervous about this trip. Seeing this tells me that it's going to be a little bit more dry, or at least I hope that's what it means, and that my poor short little Commando is going to make it through without swallowing too much water. It's still a pretty dang good view.
Watching you drive, watching the ocean.
Great Midwest ocean.
Are you getting the airplane on camera?
And now.
Oh, look at that.
Oh man, he's gonna take off.
He is? Oh man.
I'm gonna pull over so we can see that.
Okay.
I got it.
Up to this park?
No.
Or signal?
Hey, we're gonna head out to Copper Harbor. I know there's some good bakeries and stuff out there. If we're lucky, we'll stop and maybe I'll get something to eat. Well guys, we have just hit the first batch of dirt. It's nothing crazy, it's a little bit of sand and gravel, but that is probably some of the harshest road surface for continuous driving when it comes to just comfort. You know, you can go over rocks and you know, it's going over rocks, so you're expecting what's going on. A gravel road can really drain, especially if you are on leaf springs in an old vehicle like this one here. Fortunately, Mike from Rancho Suspension, he sent us, both myself and Joe, he sent us some shocks, the RS5000X. The ride on this is very, very good. I have never driven this Jeep off-road. I've been driving my YJ for years, and it's a very brutal ride. This has been surprising me with how comfortable it is. So we can definitely thank Mike for that. There's some carvings in these rocks up here, and we found one of them before. We're gonna try to find the other one today. So if we look here, there's this animal right here carved into the rock. Maybe a bear or some other small mammal. What we were told by a place in Copper Harbor is that we last time had missed a petroglyph and it's of a boat. And when we find it, we'll be able to identify maybe it looks like a Viking ship. And I believe there's a significance to it because there's, you know, there wasn't a record of there being Vikings here at the time that was carved. So speculate as you will, there's a boat somewhere and we're gonna find it.
We didn't find it.
Here we go!
Off-road race
Got a little puddle up ahead. We are making our way to our campsite for the night. It's a pretty desolate spot here. We're trying to get as hardcore in as we can, so we're going to the very, 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 very tip of the UP here.
This is the Rocket Range. We are on the tip of the Keweenaw Peninsula. The High Rock Bay, we were told there's quite a few people camping there, and this is right next door. High Rock Bay is just straight that way. This is the Rocket Range. There's a plaque over there that will tell you better than I know, but I'm assuming this metal has something to do with rockets.
some kebabs.